chats in front of me, but it doesn't have to. And we are live. Oh, the chats are gone.
Oh no, it's up there.
Whoa, big chats. There they are. Perfect.
There they are. Well, I like it when we're centered.
I do too. Yeah, I'm kind of weird about that because the chats don't have to be, for all the many people out there, it doesn't have to be too ginormous. Oh, that's probably good.
Look at that.
That's perfect.
Hey!
I'm proudly sporting everybody my Gruber custom-made shirt that is my dog.
It is very nice.
Thank
it looks
you.
just like a Gruber dog.
I feel like he's with me. It's really uncomfortable because it's just like
I would hate
like
that.
plastic, but it's like he's with me on my belly.
Maybe like you would go rolled over by a bulldozer.
Yeah,
or a roller.
A two-dimensional Gruber.
So as we're waiting for, hey, and we have a little
candy dog,
side dog here, but we're trying to keep her quiet because sometimes she barks a little when Jess is here.
Yeah, she has a vendetta against me.
Yeah, you guys made a lot of headway today.
We did. She actually sniffed and licked my hand, which was huge.
I think she's staring at the door waiting for MOM to get home.
Oh, does she know who that is?
Mom.
Oh.
I doubt it. She hasn't been to Harvard or anything.
She's so sweet.
Can you count? 1, 2. But anyway.
She loves me or I love her even though she actively dislikes me.
If you hear a little barking and
yeah. That's because she remembered that I'm here and that I'm her arch nemesis. And
she hears things out there. We call it birthing because it's kind of like.
Yeah, actually, she wished me a happy birthday when I turned 35 a couple days ago. So I am now aged, mature, full of wisdom.
Yes. Oh, my shoe lays down.
Oh, she put her foot like this.
So, crashing. Okay, good. So yeah, we're just waiting till 5 and we'll start our, if you chew on my mouse pad though, bonk. I wouldn't bonk you.
No, we would. She's like, I don't know. She's like got her head down under the table sniffing the computer.
A never dull moment here.
No. Not with the dogs.
How's
your week been?
It's been okay.
Yeah.
It's been one of those weeks.
Yeah, same.
And it's only Wednesday.
I know.
But we are here.
I know. I was excited. I was like, I need something fun to do. It's been kind of
this will be fun. Exactly.
Stressful week, and that's why I wanted tonight's to be kind of like light and fun and whimsical. And I can sometimes go on impassioned diatribes, which I'm going to try not to do. I mean, nothing says whimsy like big wooden smiley face emoji earrings. You guys got me these. I love these.
Or glasses from the movie Up.
I'm like Kevin, the annoying Boy Scout kid.
I'm the old man from Up.
Oh.
Wait, yeah, it's like this. His face is like square.
It's like very square.
This would need to be down.
That was actually pretty good.
That's what I do.
I liked it a lot.
So tell us what we're going to talk about.
Oh my God, tonight's going to be funny. We're doing.
Now the pressure's on. What if it's not funny?
It'll be funny to me. I've already laughed like preparing for this. I even got out I was looking stuff up, but we're going to be doing like popular Christian buzzwords. And I wrote mine down. I have them on cards, so I'll show them to you guys. I'll show them to Dad, and then see if you know what it is. And then we'll kind of explain in like layman's terms what these buzzwords are. I did pick some that were a little more of like the evangelical flavor, so it could be a little fringy if you're not familiar with like the evangelical side of Christianity. But that'll make it even more fun because you'll just be like, people casually say that in conversation like it's a thing. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
So you might like trigger warning if you grew up in church, you're going to hear some buzzwords that you probably heard a lot of.
Trigger!
I just went, because I was going through these like, oh my gosh, I remember people actually saying all of these things, but
all the time.
Unironically, like with a straight face. Yeah.
It was harder for me. I did less of it because it just didn't feel right.
Right.
But, that's probably why I'm here.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why both of us, because I never liked the full on like buzzwordy Christian culture at all. I was always kind of like, that seems a little contrived, but she's climbing up on the keyboard.
Here, why don't you just come up here?
Yeah.
Make yourself at home.
Say hi to everybody at home. Hi. Oh no, she's stepping on the...
Don't knock my water over.
I know, can you imagine?
She's so little she can't even get in the picture.
I know, she's not even
She's
on the
under the radar. Wait, don't chew wires.
Oh, she's like trying to go behind the
Oh,
computer.
don't start barking at things outside. That would be really bad.
That could disrupt the... Look at her little paw.
Okay, come here, Candy. Candy. No, don't chew on stuff. This happens.
This happens where she walks up on... That's true.
Here, wait. Let me show your little face.
Yeah, show everybody Candy's face.
Back.
She lets you do anything to her.
Oh, my little girl.
Hi, Candy girl.
My little girl.
Yeah, I'm such a good girl. She's like, please don't you interact with me.
What did you think of that? Was that pretty exciting being up there on the
jazz?
Famous.
Oh, Candy's famous.
Wait, watch what you do when you make a sound. Wait, no, dude. Oops, sorry. Look that way. Usually she turns her head sideways, but it only works when you're in front.
I'll do it if you make a sound.
Okay, well, let's talk. Okay, so we got sidetracked. Okay, go back in your little bed.
Oh yeah, and I will say,
I sidetracked us.
If you're in the chat and we missed a good buzzword or Christian-Ese term or something like that, you can either throw it up there and we'll describe it if we know what it is, and if not, you can teach us a new one.
Okay.
So feel free to jump in the chat with any questions or comments. If you want to talk about Gruber, we are here for your needs. So throw it out there.
Yes.
All
and
right. Go ahead.
Wait, what? Yeah, this is just kind of a cultural thing.
Yeah, like a fun cultural thing. All right, I got the first one here, and we'll see if you know the.
Wait, am I still allowed to look at it?
I'm gonna hold it to the camera. Oh, it's gonna be backwards. Oh,
wait, go really close to the camera.
You can't see it because I even drew a compass. It says, "I don't feel led." I don't feel led to do that.
Like, this is like when you're trying to think of what to listen to on the way to work. You put in Led Zeppelin, just not feeling it.
Well, you're always feeling. I feel like you're always feeling.
So then you try a little Bob Dylan, and then it's like, oh, nice. I was in a more of a Dylan mood than a Led mood.
Or Pink Floyd, if you're no, it means you don't want to do something, and you're using God as an excuse to not have to do it. I don't feel.
Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to startle.
I don't feel led, because that literally means like if God's leading you in a direction and then you're like not going to do that, you can say I don't feel led to do it. So basically, I like that one because you can kind of use God to get out. If somebody's like, hey, can you volunteer at the church picnic? You could be like, I don't really feel led to do that.
Exactly. Or I don't feel the leading of the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can feel God can lead you, the Holy Spirit can lead you.
Jesus can lead you.
I'm just not feeling led. That's exactly, I remember that.
Yeah, I know. I heard that one a lot. Or you could feel led to do something.
Yeah.
You could, I remember some people saying they had lived in Ohio. This is just someone I met like at a store, and she's,
I guess in your mind or in your spirit, like truly leading you, which is just really hard to.
It's not quantifiable. Like you couldn't prove that.
The other weird thing is once you quit believing in that, you find you have the exact same leadings, but it's just your intuition, common sense, the things you're hearing, you think about things and feel like, oh, this makes sense. And I really feel like this is the thing I should do.
Yeah.
It's the same voice. It's the same feeling. It's everything is the same. So
exactly. It's like your internal
compass
is guiding you. Yeah.
I never heard an audible voice outside of me like leading, like
go to Starbucks.
Didn't I tell you did I ever say on here the one I did?
I don't know if you ever said it.
Dude, when I was first,
this one's rough.
When I was first saved, and I was in a Pentecostal church, and I mean they taught all this stuff, like, and I just believed it because why would Why would they not be telling me what's true? It's like, oh yeah, if you have an impression or something, or you have a feeling or thought to do something for God, that's God. It's not you, because that's one thing. You might want to think about it, and is this the right thing to do? No, that's God's Holy Spirit leading you to reach this person or whatever. And I drove back and where I drove to church. There was this old guy who
I don't know what his
what the disease is or whatever, but I mean he was old, and I mean he was bent over, like he could not straighten up, so everywhere he went it was completely bent
like
over.
Like a question mark.
And I'm like, I got this. I drove by one day and I felt like God wants him healed. God wants him healed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the Holy Spirit's leading me to go pray with this guy and I'm going to see a miracle. God wants him healed. And I'm like, oh, well, you don't do these things, like you got to make sure if you're going to do something like this. So I thought about it. I'm like, well, it doesn't go against anything in the Bible. You're supposed to pray for the sick. God came to heal the sick. He came to deliver us from all these things. And plus, God leads us. So I go up, and that poor guy, I'm like, hey, could I pray for you? He had to think I was nuts. And I'm like, I just pray that your ailment would go away and that you could stand up straight. Still to this day. Well, he's probably dead. No.
I know. That would have changed a lot if he had just been like, and taken off running.
That would be the thing. If God really was leading people as much as he said, it would be a whole, you could verify that it's all accurate. But
exactly.
the challenge is that sometimes he led me. You hear about the ones that are successful, the ones that weren't, no one really usually talks about like that. You know, it's like, but you hear the ones about, I was led to pray with this person, and that's my favorite. Like, I was led to pray with this person on the bus, and I asked him, I said, hey, I just feel like, man, I need to talk to you, and is everything okay? And are you doing okay? And they started crying. And like that's some big miraculous thing. There are so many people walking around that if anyone shows any kind of care, they start crying.
Literally, there was a lady crying in the vet's office yesterday when I took my dog. If you show concern for people or ask if they're okay, oftentimes, and you don't have to do it with the guise of, because it kind of means less if it's like God's telling me to do this versus, hey, I actually care about you person to person.
And it doesn't matter if it's what it's just that it's not verifiable because it works with or without God. And it's just, okay. So that was led by the Spirit. I've got one for you. Let me see on my little list.
This is fun. This is like a trip down memory lane.
Oh, it gives you the heaves.
I know, me too. I know.
I hate it. I did too. I didn't talk like this. I was always like, just talk like a normal person.
I hate. It's kind of like cheesy salespeople got all the same sales pitch. I don't like any canned responses.
Okay. I'll give you a quiz and see if you can. Okay. This is a prayer asking God to physically or spiritually shield someone from harm. What is it?
Hedge of protection.
A hedge of protection.
I had that one written. I wrote that one down. I drew a bush on mine, like a hedge bush. A hedge of protection. That was one of the first ones I wrote down on my cards because I was like, ugh, that's funny. I hated that phrase.
And that is again one of those things that comes from, I think, the Old Testament. One of the prophets prayed for a hedge of protection, and there was a hedge of protection around him. But it's somehow, because that statement's in there, somehow gets confused into this thing like, well, we can ask God for a hedge of protection and he's going to spiritually protect us from harm. And wow, wouldn't that be, again, an amazing thing? Like, well, I would just go right down to, if it really worked, boy.
I'd be right at the children's hospital praying hedges of protection around all the sick kids, just saying, because it's like, why? And I honestly hated it the most when they would say, oh, so-and-so had a hedge of protection around them. But then there were all these other examples of people that so God just didn't want to protect those other people.
Like they were in a car wreck and everyone died except them. And it's because I prayed. It's like, oh, right. Okay. That's not how it works. You try it again. Does it work on every soldier right now over in fighting in the war? Does it work against all the starving people right now? Does it work against? No, it would be a different world if that really worked. And again, it's one of the things that it has enough ambiguity, and you always hear about the times where, it worked, or in some way was conceived to work, and sometimes
it like confirmation bias.
Yeah, sometimes, but you miss all the, you don't count all the times, like who knows now how many millions and millions of those requests have been made and they didn't work. So it's like,
yeah,
it's really, but a hedge of protection.
I think that one's so buzzy. I love that one. It sounds so. Let me see. It sounds. Oh, this is a good one. You would like what?
No, that would be nice.
I know, if you could just pray for it and then you'd be protected and the people you cared about would be protected.
Well, just think, if you were an all-powerful God, you could have made the world like that instead of going through all this and then getting to heaven eventually. Like,
I know.
You could just started there.
Too simple. Did you like that meme I sent you that was Jesus knocking on the door and he's like, let me in. And the guy was like, why? And Jesus goes, I need to save you. And he goes, from what? And Jesus goes, from what I'm going to do to you if you don't let me in. I was like, that's really good.
Really kind of true.
Yes. Okay. How about the buzzword? This is kind of an AG. Slain in the spirit. I got a good when I searched this, the Google just to like make sure it was what I thought, which I was right. What you would think this would mean is that like some spirits shooting you with a bow and arrow. That's not what it was. But the Google AI image was a little stick man, like a restroom, like that you see over the restroom signs, just flying backwards. That was the AI image it generated for Slain in the Spirit.
I love that.
I know, that's a good one.
I know the church I went to, multiple ones, if they would have the what's it called when someone would go, an evangelist, they would have like the special evangelist come, or it'd be a holy revival service or something like that, or a healing service or a prayer service. They would get extra altar workers, one, to help catch people as they were slain in the spirit, because the idea is you're touched, or someone, or the evangelist touch you, or sometimes they'll blow on you, or they'll just lightly touch you, or they'll like, someone get real dramatic and they're like, I don't even need to do that, watch. And then you'll fall. I mean, it gets crazy. It gets crazy to think that this would really be God and like who he's portrayed to be, and he'd be down with this kind of stuff. But like, so they would fall backwards. So you would need extra altar workers to stand there to catch people as they fell backwards, so they didn't just fall down, which
it's almost like the power of suggestion or something.
Yeah, big time. I always thought, well, like, if God was really going to slay you in the spirit, would he get you hurt at the same time? Because the idea was he was doing some deep spiritual work in you that only he knows about. And a lot of times you may not even know what's happening, but he's doing deep spiritual work inside of you. If he's really going to do that, would he strike you down to like where you get a concussion in the process? So like, could he just gently like, because that would be, again, really amazing if slaying the spirit was all of a sudden you floated off your feet and just gently lowered to the ground and got that. Like, everybody would be like, wow, this is real.
Yeah. Wasn't there one guy that he was like pushing on and the guy wouldn't fall down?
Yeah. That was, I've seen many times of that. Like, and a lot of times you'd see it with the youth, because a lot of youth in the youth groups really wanted this to happen, and they're like begging and pleading and crying, and it's not happening to them. And the power of suggestion is so strong. The problem is, if you're a person out there thinking like, well, I don't want this to just be this, I really want this to be something that actually happens to me. Yeah. Nothing usually happens because it's not happening. No. But if you're a person who's open to that and really and willing to go along with the cues, like when they start shaking, you start going like this. I'm like, because I had people do that to me. I'm like, well, now what are you doing? Like, you're just like rocking me around. Like,
God, that's manipulative. That's psychotic.
Or 10 people would get around you and all praying in your face and start speaking in tongues, and it's like, yikes.
Yeah, that's kind of a horror show.
I mean, to me, not if that works for you and that's a.
But it's all manipulative tactic, because it's not like just
you can't really tell.
It's all manipulative, because it's not like just at like because we also went to some like a Baptist church that like that would have completely freaked them out, and it's like, so God just picks which denominations he knocks people over in the spirit, because that would have never happened at a Baptist church where somebody just was like walking along and fell down because they were slain in the spirit, or standing at the altar and like, so he's only going to like the real like Assemblies of God, the real Pentecostal.
That's what's so crazy about this, like, is there was a absolute sense of pride in the denominations, but you aren't allowed to have pride like that in Christianity, so you couldn't call it that. So it'd be, you talk about those are our weaker brothers, or brothers who aren't full of, they don't have the whole gift, but it's like, and we're up here, you're down there. And then the other guys are like, those poor guys are just like doing all this stuff on their own, and they don't understand that it's stopped and they're being manipulated because they can't understand the Bible, right? So you've got like these, where I went to college, it was Bible college. It was a Pentecostal college in town, and also and it was I think the national headquarters for it. So it was the National College. And there was also a National Baptist. And I could not believe when I got there, how people at my college talked about that. There was like a rivalry.
Oh my God.
It was like Ohio State, Michigan. It's like, dude, hey, I think we're all at the same goal here, ultimately. It was just, it was so all those kind of things that I think not being raised in it and then seeing it just from the cult, like, it's like, okay, someone's not getting something here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was that big belief, like we really had it because we were more spiritual and had these deeper spiritual connections, and they thought we were nuts because the Bible says all of those things ceased and aren't for today, and everybody could make their biblical case.
Yeah, we're like, no, God still knocks us down. So
another job, you could have several jobs on evangelist night. What was the other?
I know what you're gonna say. They would have someone there with like a blanket so that if the women fell over and their skirts came up, they would cover them up for modesty, so no one would see their panties.
That's sort of the X-rated version. It wasn't if their skirts came up. It's just if they were wearing a skirt, because then they could be laying there, and there could be another guy laying there, and then he comes to and turns his head. And it's like,
then he read, "Praise Jesus." I feel.
It was for modesty.
You've got all the like sex-starved congregants who aren't allowed to watch TV. They're like,
I'm like, wouldn't God, if this like, was really happening, like somehow be figuring all this out, and like we really need to help by like cover people up. It's
right.
Hey, I just came home. I saw my vehicle.
I know, that's so weird, isn't it? Oh my God, that's a good one. Okay, give me.
Wait, what was mine?
Mine was your last one was the hedge of protection, which is such a good one. I had that one too.
Okay, now this is an intuitive, uneasy feeling that something might be morally or spiritually wrong, or you shouldn't do something or go somewhere or do something.
A prompting of the spirit?
Or a check in the spirit.
So
a prompting is... You get both. Sometimes you get prompted in the spirit, like, but a check in the spirit is this: you're about ready to do something. It's like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. It's like God literally stopping you from making the wrong decision or the wrong choice.
Yeah, which he didn't do with either of my ex-husbands, but neither one of them.
Oh, were you listening?
Yeah.
Did you bathe it in prayer?
Ew.
Because that's another one.
Ew, I hate that one.
It's one thing to pray about it, but some matters need bathing. That's what they would say.
That's so gross. It gives me the ick.
It's like you really soak it in that prayer, and then see what shakes out.
Did you ever bathe something in prayer?
Dude, I prayed so much.
So did I.
Dude,
did I. I was the prayer freaking queen.
Dude, like I've said on this, there were two different churches with two different pastors that, maybe all pastors do this, or some do. They did it at the churches I went, but two of these pastors met every morning, 5 days a week, like at 5 a.m. in the church sanctuary, invited the whole congregation to come there to pray for the church, people in the church. In both scenarios, and one was about 300 people, and one was, I don't know, probably about the same number of people. There would always be 2 or 3 people that would do it. It'd be the pastor, me, and one other guy, or a handful of people, and they don't always taper off, or one it was crazy. First of all, I'm like, okay, so, but I always thought that's what it, like, okay, we need like conversions, we need souls saved, let's get there and pray. None of that stuff ever happened, but we prayed,
nice thought,
and we prayed an hour, like would just be up there babbling away.
Did you know when I haven't prayed in probably, I think I started deconstructing like 3 years ago. I haven't prayed because I think of it more as like meditation, but when Gruber was in surgery for his bladder stones, I prayed to the spirit of Reg. I'm dead serious. I was like, I've always had this sense that like his spirit's still around. Like no one else, like no people that I've known that have died. But like I have always sensed that like Reggie's spirit's around. Actually, I think he's with Richard Simmons, like somewhere. Like their spirits found each other because they're like
on the Rainbow
soulmates,
Bridge.
like 100% on the Rainbow Bridge. They're up there like doing jazzercise together, and they're both neurotic, so it'd be like the perfect union. But anyway, I was like, if anyone's up there, Reggie, I need a little dog angel to like make sure Gruber wakes up. I'm like, I know this doesn't mean anything. And then 20 minutes later, the vet's office called and was like, hey, Gruber's fine. He's waking up from surgery. And I thought, so that's how that confirmation stuff works. I don't really think the spirit of my dead toy poodle is like granting wishes like a genie, but like you could see how the confirmation of that would work. And it's just comforting for me to think about Reggie's little spirit frolicking around somewhere.
Yeah. If something happened and Gruber died and you were in church, it would be like that. We got God's answer. It was come home. So it's like,
yes. So you can't, either way, like, it's yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, okay. Every prayer comes true. Then like it's either if God answers yes, no, or maybe, or not now. It's like, how can you ever know if this is actually happening? You can't like because it. But any hooskies.
All right, let me. Oh, okay.
Wait. Did you? I don't think you.
Oh, check your spirit.
Yeah, I would like a little more. No, mine was when I was. Gosh.
No, say it.
No, it was me.
Oh God, I want to know. No. Tell me after. Okay, tell me after.
It was something stupid. It wasn't true. I was just gonna make a bad joke.
Oh dang it! Even better. Oh, you're killing me. I think my biggest like.
This is my age, my wisdom. Sometimes I know what I shouldn't say.
Oh, I don't.
I just had a check in the spirit.
You saw that real time, folks.
Even without God.
And Reggie's answering my prayers. We need to start a new cult of Reggie. Would you be in?
Heck no.
Ooh, that's what I used to do when people left.
When I still do pray to the same God I used to believe in every once in a while because like I've said, I would love to know.
Me too.
I'd be so happy to know that was true. Now there'd be parts of it that would really bum me out, like why just set us up for hell right from the beginning, and like the majority of humans ever created are ending up in eternal punishment or separation. What's up with that? You made it that way. So
why don't you talk to anybody? Why don't you show yourself to anybody?
Yeah, but I do, because I don't, every once in a while I'll be like, yeah, I just don't want to, hey, I don't want to miss. If you're like really there, let me know. But
yeah,
if it's just, you got to believe, like that's how every religion has adherence. Like,
I know. And I saw
any of this stuff. You can believe it. It doesn't mean it's really happening.
Right. And I saw someone posted not that long ago. They were like, it was so nice and convenient of God that he, how did they phrase it? Put the people, I can't say it, in like the geographical regions that are their own true religion. So basically saying like anywhere you live, the Middle East, they'd be like, Islam's a true religion. And they're all like, I'm so lucky. Some maybe to be like where the true religion is, and then in the US we're like, we're so lucky to be where the true religion is, and we're not going to hell. And it's like there is something to that like geographically where people are, that's like
it's it's the number one indicator of what religion you'll follow is the culture and family you're born into. It's like the number one. So it's not like that I've had this actual experience or I saw God or something. It's where you were born and what family.
You need to check your spirit.
It's checked.
All right, I got another one. This one is What does it mean to be on fire for God? I drew the human video.
I'm your Venus, I'm your Venus.
Your desire. Watch out. You might get what you're after. That was burned on that.
Baby.
365. She hates it. Burning down the house. Yeah. What does it mean to be on fire for God? You like the flames I drew? I feel like they actually turned out.
Whoa, that was really nice.
Thank you.
It was. That was.
You're so encouraging. I'm 35 and you're like, you drew good fire.
I'm going to hang that on the fridge.
You should put all of my Christian buzzwords.
Mom's just like, oh God.
I know.
You pagans.
I know. She's
Get
like,
your crap off my refrigerator.
Check your spirits. Yeah.
You are doomed.
Maybe.
It was, that is, I think, is one of the biggest manipulators in Christianity, at least those circles we were in, is like, there's something wrong with you if you don't fit this certain model and you're not on fire for Jesus. And it could be many things. If you're during worship service and you just, because I don't know if you go to a Pentecostal church, people not only raise their hands but clap, because sometimes we'll dance around a little. I'm gonna let her out to see Mom.
I love it. I thought you were gonna scoot all the way in your chair. There you go. There was like different degrees of hand stages. Like if you would do this, it was like, that's nice. You do this, it's like a little more on fire for God, but like still lukewarm, hotter, hottest. Like both arms was definitely like both arms, spirit fingers. There was the like straight out, like the Jesus cross hand raising. There was the serving of the pizza pies. There was like the non-committal down by, like there's a lot of different
the clown
variations.
Conventions in town.
You could do you remember when the one guy was doing this and he had his eyes closed and then another guy at church came up and like fake high-fived him while he had his, that was pretty. We were laughing
I think I see how you got to this point.
I know. You were laughing too. You talked about it for like a week. You're like, that was so funny.
Yeah, that whole,
but that's like you're
being on fire for God. Or it could be, oh my gosh, he's out there telling everybody about Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, which could or could not be a good thing. I mean, you could translate that he's out there turning more people away from ever possibly coming to know Jesus because of the way they're doing it. Or it could be stuff like that. But the thing is that it's got to be perpetual. And once you start, you can't stop. So you'll notice there's always some people that are like, man, they're just pushing themselves to be one with always on fire, always a story, always doing something. And you can almost tell it's like, I just got to keep this perpetual thing of being on fire for God.
And like using buzzwords, or like there was somebody in the church growing up that like felt the need to tell people like, I don't capitalize, if I'm writing, I don't capitalize my name, or if I write I referring to myself, because God's name is capitalized. So I won't capitalize my own name because I'm not on the same level as him. And I remember us being like, oh my God. But I think that would have been someone that they like would have considered on fire for God.
This one, it was a big thing. Like people said that about me all the time when I accepted Christ that I was on fire. Oh yeah, because I went out honestly, it caused me to keep doing more things, and it got harder to separate. Like, what am I really feel like is the right thing to do? Am I really to keep that thing going where I want to be that person on fire for God.
I mean, I was going to say the same thing, that I think it's a manipulation tactic. And I don't even know if leadership is doing that intentionally. No. It's one of those trickle down things that I think gets repeated. But if you think that this really is, and you believe this is the most important thing in your life, which most people did in the church, or at least hypothetically it was supposed to be, because realistically the most important thing in your life was your family and the people that you were really around. God, you don't see, hear, smell, taste, touch. So it's like, it wasn't, but you had to act like it was and say like it was. So it was a thing to keep people coming back to church and involved in all this stuff, and like donating money, be on fire for God, putting yourself in dangerous situations, like going to hostile countries to witness where you could be killed for your faith, was like on
going
fire
to
for
hard
God.
parts of town,
Going to,
like the
yes,
city, would go into certain areas, and it would be like, wow, that's where no one, they really, it could also be you really have a heart for the lost.
Oh gosh, yes, a heart for the lost. I didn't even write that one down. And other such goodies as Too Blessed to Be Stressed, Prayer Warrior. These were some I didn't even get to.
So like the so like I would always like the thing with the worship thing where you're supposed to be fired up, and like it's not good to, I mean, come on, you guys, let's start clap our hands. It's for God, and let's raise our.
Come on, church,
God's
you can do better than that. Like,
yeah,
it's a sports event.
Yeah, and it's like not understanding. Some people, I used to, when I was trying to figure all this out and I believed it, I was trying to connect and like really think, and like, because I know like an emotion or doing that is not anything. I wanted to hear and connect and understand. So I'd actually be there, and those kind of cajoling and admonition, and they'd call it other things, of course, like, but that's what it felt like. It'd be like
it was.
It would always lose control, or it would always cause me to like be super distracted and be like, yeah, not for me. And I'm looking around, like I was always thinking like, if everybody really believed this, I think things would be so different. Like we would be doing things so different. Like you could go to churches where no one ever, or hardly rarely ever, invites someone or a lost person or goes out and does something to reach the lost. It's usually the fewer people, and then it's like, well, they don't have the gifting, and that's another one. It's like
a lost person is one.
Yeah.
Like that you would call anyone that's not like actively part of a zealous, on fire church a lost person is crazy. They're out there bumping into walls and burning babies.
Their bigger problem is they're part of the world.
I didn't write that down. I actually thought of it on the drive here.
They're of the world.
They're of the world. Did you write that one down?
Yeah.
That's of the world just means like you're going to hell and you're not a Christian, so you're not saved. So you are of the world. It's kind of like how the Amish call all of us the English and think that we're all terrible but make all their money off of us. But it's like us and them. So it's like the world and the Christians. The world's the bad one.
But
we all live in the world. It's so stupid.
It is just one world.
It's so stupid.
And I mean, this idea, I know many people think to think that if you're not in church, like, or you don't have if you're not in church, like you're out there just sinning and doing horrible things. It's just so. That's why like the divorce rate's the same.
They're the same.
Church is in secular. It's so there are good moral people, and it's like I was listening to something today. It's like, well, if you're not a Christian, you say you're having morals, you're borrowing from the Christian worldview the morals, because if you didn't, you cannot. I mean, there are people that literally believe, Christians, that a non-Christian cannot have informed morals without God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like
the has to be, which is just crazy.
It is. Yeah.
I won't go into all that, but it's just not true. It's just not true.
Well, and it's also implying that Christians don't do any of the same things.
Yeah.
Which isn't true. And like from lived experience and just from the numbers, it's the same. And in fact, in some religious circles, like I'm looking at you, Catholic priests, some of that stuff is amplified because of weird religious contexts and denying themselves like normal sex and just being normal humans and stuff. So you can't use that. It actually just
or maybe because of the dynamic is why the person went into that.
Oh God, that's so nefarious.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you can't. It would just watch that Spotlight movie, which is too like it's a movie, but the events that tracked where they uncovered worldwide relocating of pedophile priests when it was known very high up, and they just kept relocating them to different places
to cover up the scandal,
and more is happening because that was more important.
That's so gross.
That is really gross.
It's so gross.
That is really gross. It is why I really can't go to a Catholic church.
Same.
Like because their teachings actually are probably closer to what I could kind of agree with, and it's way more on faith based. It's not sola scriptura, but then it's okay. We've got, you've got the Pope and you've got the magisterium, you've got the church fathers and all these things that to combine, but that alone, I'm like, dude, that they didn't just blow that up and like end that. Like,
no, here's what really like
they covered it up, and they still to this day, it's like you shouldn't be talking about that. How can you never not talk about
that?
That
okay, like here
in a worldwide supposedly God's church.
To kids.
With the links
to kids.
All the way back to Peter, and can prove that this is God's true. And God had that's God had free will. People are sinful.
That they do not.
Well, then God
do they say that?
Well, yeah, that's how. Like,
that's
because if not, you'd have to say, yeah, because if God could intervene and stop that, why wouldn't He have?
And I don't want to get into anything political because that's not what this live stream is, but it immediately like
we drifted.
Oh my God. And then I'll do a buzzword. It literally, it brought, this next one's my favorite. I'm going to get riled up on this one, but it brought to mind, like, people literally boycotted Target because they rolled out one line of like trans bathing suits, right? For kids. And think what you want on that. People had really big feelings and they boycotted it, and that's their right, whatever. How about the freaking Catholic Church, guys? We know that this was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, pedo rings ever. Ever uncovered. Everyone knows it. And yet they are the most funded. They have the freaking Vatican City. And no one talks about it. Or so Target, like, oh, it's nice that you have big feelings and that you stand up for what I guess, but where's the outrage? And
that would be hard to just be part of that. Like,
yeah, I show up every day. And
I've even tried because that's the thing. You cannot believe in the Christian God or the Bible and all of that. I still desire to have and seek spirituality. Like, I just don't think that's true. So like we've talked about, the Catholic Church, like, because of just some of the things they do, a little bit more open to that, but I can't do it. I'm like, dude, these people like allowed all that to happen. And then covered it up. Like, it's crazy.
Hey, Heather says, I know, right? Discussing how people choose what's right or wrong. I completely agree. Or just like even the double standard of I will be irate about this and then completely pretend like this other thing is not happening. Yeah. I think it's that disparity where I'm like, how are they still functioning? And I'm the same way. Like, I don't think I could go sit.
I think I know. I mean, I know why people do. It's like why everybody rationalizes whatever they want to keep doing, including myself. And you can overlook a lot of stuff to keep something going. Like, and there's so much involved in that, like power, money.
I know. I guess it's more for like the lay people. And I'm thinking of right now, and I won't say names because again, we're trying not to be political, but like a really famous podcaster who is so like just hateful about so many things and so angry. And it's all about like families and the family unit and the gays are ruining everything. And yet he's like devout Catholic, gives money to the Catholic Church. And I'm like, okay, well, if you care this much about kids and that's the claim, you are missing, like, you're willfully missing something really
I think big. It'd be like, well, that was something that happened, it stopped, and it doesn't now. And it's like every thing has mistakes, and which in some ways is true.
Well, that same person boycotted Target, so I'm like, well, they stopped doing it, and it's way less. Like it's not even. Sorry, I have so many big feelings. Okay. I didn't want to. I'm like turning red. I do. This is my.
You were gonna be. You're like, this could be fun.
I know this was supposed to be the lighthearted one. I've discovered in the last few weeks a very like out of control sense of righteous indignation, and my biggest like is people like hurting things that are like weaker, smaller, can't speak up for themselves, like kids, animals, minorities. Like things that can't, like people that can't defend themselves, little voiceless critter. Like and when it's something like that and it got covered up and it's like, well, the church is powerful. I would like, or like we're going to pretend like it's not because it benefits us. Okay. I don't like, that would be like if I was always talking about how I'm a staunch vegetarian, but I give money to Chick-fil-A or something.
Wait, what do you got now? You got a new one?
Yeah, I'm like sweating. It got real up here. Okay, what does it mean if I caused my brother to stumble? Can you see the artwork?
Wait. You are the biggest stumbler block. If you were in Harry Potter, you would be Stumbledore.
Thank you. Thanks a million.
You caused my brother to stumble.
And it doesn't mean that I tricked
biblical.
My biological sibling. It is biblical.
New Testamentical.
Do you want me to say, like, you say what it means and then I'll say how it's actually used in, like, real life context?
So, like, I think I know in Acts, there was an issue of, what should we do in our behavior and how do we regulate it if we know it's not a sinful thing, but it's something someone else could perceive because of their culture or background. Maybe they perceive it as something non-spiritual or ungodly. And then the direction was, don't cause your brother to stumble. Hey, if it's something you can live without, even though you know it's not sinful, if it's going to cause them problems, don't do it.
That's perfectly said. Here's how it's used in churches. It's when youth leaders look at you as a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl, get an accidental boner, and then tell you that you're causing people to stumble. It's always directed at young women. And this is like every girl I've ever talked to that grew up in a dogmatic church has been told that they are causing men to stumble at some point. And it is like, without fail, like it's your fault because some old skeevy dude was looking at you and felt a little tickle in his pants and then was like, you're causing people to stumble. I feel like that's the only time I ever actually heard it used in church was like directed at women, usually young women in like youth group because they're, yes, wow. Hi, Faith, welcome in. Is because they like, I got told it like so many times it didn't matter what I wore. It was usually clothes that my parents had bought me.
Or borrowing mom's clothes.
Yeah. Pete's listening with me and his eyes got huge. Sorry, Pete. I should have...
She's causing another stumbling situation.
I know. I got told once, like in a group in front of a bunch of people by this like 50-year-old guy who didn't even know me. And I was 16 and he goes, you need to zip up your jacket and walk away right now because you're causing men to stumble. Because I was wearing one of mom's like undershirts that maybe came up to like here, but it had some lace on it. And later he told me there's certain things that draw the male gaze and lace is one of those things. And so
what a freaking creep.
What a creep. Like
what an a-hole.
And man. I was like, I said, this is my mom's shirt. I borrowed this.
Keep your issues in your
pants.
Yeah, keep to yourself. Work on yourself there, dude. Like,
I know.
Wow. That is... I don't think people don't they think they're doing something good and they like not realizing the harm they're doing.
No, I think it was just that I think he was looking a little too long and felt a stirring in the spirit and was felt impressed. He didn't want me to cause anyone to stumble. Lace.
We still get a lot of mileage out of lace still to this day. Because it was such a bizarre
It was so weird. And like, I want to name him so bad, but I won't. But like, let's put the blame where it really belongs. Preach. I don't even preach anymore, but preach. Yes, I agree.
Oh, that was what I used to hate.
Yes. And you would say that. Like, you would say that, like, put the blame where it actually belongs.
Yeah.
If you're objectifying a 16-year-old and putting that on her like that.
That is so...
You might be a pervert if...
And you weren't even like... It was normal stuff.
Like, it wasn't even like this. Like this. It wasn't even like this.
It was so bizarre, man. that was problems.
Do you think that Gruber is causing people to put a 1 in the chat if my seductive Gruber...
Might make someone run into a tree if they see that. Oh, I mean... He's very handsome.
I mean, this would cause me to stumble.
Gargoyle type of way.
He's like a gargoyle gremlin.
Here's one I was accused of. Quenching the spirit. Because these are all true. It's like, I know, like, oh God, please. So like, quenching the spirit is where I found I was a spirit quencher was when people would do things or say things and I would question it. Or I'd be like, well, wait a minute, is that really what that means? Or is that really how the Bible is applying to that? Because I thought all that was important. I didn't think it was just something where we get a free for all and make up stuff, because that's what a lot of people do. So that's how you quench the spirit, is asking or checking or like calling, checking reality, like just asking or just having the thought is a spirit quencher, which is like, again, one of the things that like made the belief start to shift. Like, this can't be real if you can't think and ask and question things. Everything's just a free for all, and there's no reality check. Like, and that was the whole time I was a Christian, but even more so when I got on staff and decisions were being made and you were dealing with issues in the church, and it was just weird. I mean, like, I remember these. Well, I shouldn't even say.
No, say it.
Two ladies, like, we were starting small groups, and two ladies, and I'm sure this is highly offensive. They were in their 60s or something, and they were single, and they were just weird as heck. Everything out of their mouth was Christian-Ese. It didn't even talk like a normal person. Like, it was really hard to understand sometimes. What are you talking about? Like, talk like a normal human. And they wanted to start a small group, and it was going to be, and I said, and they wanted to have it, I forget, it was like the gifts of the Holy Spirit. I was like, no. I was like, I don't think you'd be a good fit for that, because they didn't understand.
Good for you.
They didn't understand. They were taking things out of context, out of the Bible, and they were going to teach it to people. And I'm thinking, like, okay, there can be teens or young Christians or people that aren't knowledgeable that are going to hear this stuff and think it's real and true because these older people, and we're giving it the stamp of approval. I was like, no. But that didn't go.
Good for you. I love you.
I'm like, no, you can't be hurting people. Spiritual stuff like that screws with people and can impact them for their entire life. Like,
me, like, all the time being told that I was a Jezebel or like causing men to lust after me. For one thing, it's like, it really made me think, like, man, something's just wrong with me. And it didn't seem to, like, even if I wasn't trying to be like provocative.
Or because you maybe or maybe because you're more of an emotive or feelings oriented person, and you're portraying all these normal things that happen to every other person, but you're saying it's God, and then everything's God, and it's the Holy Spirit doing this and that, and you're hearing him and leading him and feeling him. We have this loving relationship. Like, here's, like, I don't need a man. I'm dating Jesus, like.
A purity ring is one of mine. A purity ring means you're not having sex with anyone. And that's
all cool.
Except Jesus.
But it's not real.
Right.
And then other people who are actively seeking because they're hurt or vulnerable or they have these voids in their life and they want to experience that same thing, and they take it on faith that what you're saying is real, and they try and don't experience that. That's how spiritual manipulation happens, or spiritual hurt, because it's not like you set up something that's not real anyway, and it's not biblical, and you can't back that up, and you can't prove it methodically or in any way that this is really happening. It's your feelings, it's your voice on it, but you're letting people think you have some kind of dynamic, crazy connection with God. And then what's wrong with me? Because am I not a child of God? Am I not loved? Am I not whatever, fill in the blank. And that's how that stuff really hurts people.
It does. It makes you think something's wrong with you. And it's not that you're like missing something. It's just that you're not faking anything. And some people are, because you have to, because it's not real. And no one's like, God isn't speaking directly into anyone's mind. And I always remind people like, hey, if you're hearing another audible voice in your head that's not your own, you maybe should honestly talk to a therapist. And I don't say that jokingly. But I also think that's the danger, because you could hear something that is hurtful or nefarious or not going to be, that could be harmful to you if you're actually hearing a voice. No, that's not like part of the typical experience. But not to go, okay, I have a kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
A lighthearted fun one. What do we mean in Christianity when we say fellowship?
Oh, he's a good fellow.
Because Christians are allergic to saying let's hang out. So we use the word fellowship.
It usually involves food.
I was going to say.
Which that's a good thing.
The AI definition said sitting at tables eating snacks with other Christians.
Food's important.
But for some reason, Christians can't just say like, hey, let's get together and hang. They'll be like, we're going to fellowship.
Yes. And I think it's where, I think that's one of the like parts, honestly, you miss when you...
It's the only part that I miss.
And it's what keeps people a lot of times in situations, because it's become all their friends and all their social connection. And it's like, yeah, you can't really stop believing or start questioning or too much or too long, or because you don't fit in. And it's, suddenly you're not, it just isn't a fit anymore. And you lose all of that. I think it's why so many people...
Coffee and sweets. Yeah, exactly.
Fellowship is important.
But for some reason, we can't be like, guys, let's get together and have coffee and sweets. Like, no, it's fellowshipping.
That is such a good...
But I thought that was a fun one, because it's not like nefarious or like hurtful. It's just funny to me that like even AI said Christians getting together, sitting around a table, eating snacks. I was like... And I missed that.
I like this one.
Okay,
it says, I really feel like this is God's will for my life.
Oh, some guy told me that about dating him. That it was God's will that he could date me. He should date me.
Well, here's what it says.
Like
here's the English translation. I'm sick of people pointing out all my glaringly obvious flaws in my life plan, so I'll just slap the handy God's will label on it to silence the wisdom of my critics. Well, this is God's will.
That's so funny. I love that one. That was like...
I'm glad you're tickled.
I like when people just say what it actually is.
Dude, like, this is what I want to do. Like,
just say
I'm doing this because I want to do this. Because when it's, and again, it's that whole harmful thing and something you cannot, there's no way you could demonstrate if it is or is not God's will. But like, that was so important in our denomination. And I wanted to, there is no doubt when I became a Christian early on, I wanted to learn the Bible. I wanted to become a pastor because I thought this was so important. I wanted to go to Bible college, but you can't really say that. So it's like, God's leading me there. It's God's will for me to go. It's God's plan for me. Instead, it wasn't. And here's what, I went there for 2 years because of all kinds of issues in my background and growing up that I hadn't dealt with. They all came out at that time. And I started having serious emotional problems where I had to go to counseling. I had major depression, anxiety disorders and everything while I was at Bible college. Which
makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense that it would come to a head at that point.
And ended up like stopping after 2 years, coming back to Ohio, a whole big story and everything. But I was really struggling with, because of all the people who told me this was God's will for me and God's plan. And it's like,
that is confusing.
And here's the convenient part. Well, we don't always know his plan fully. So it's like, okay, you never know then. So
it's
it wasn't really his will for me to go out there and do the full 4 years and become a pastor. It was go out there and have a breakdown, come back, and he'll use that in some way. That was his plan. How do you know then? So basically, whatever happens in your life is what happens. that's what it is.
I mean, Occam's razor, like that, honestly, no, I completely agree. But I was always afraid of God's will because like when I was growing up, I was convinced that God was going to call me to be a nun. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like convinced. And then I thought his will was for me to not be in theater because I loved theater. Like I always thought his will was going to be something. And then I was convinced he wanted me to go to like a dangerous part of the world and be a missionary. Yeah. I was convinced. There were other ones, but those were the big three.
Yeah.
But I am very famously not a nun now and didn't go anywhere dangerous to be a missionary. And
yeah. And what always got me, and I just said this all the time, like, and thought this and talked about this a lot because I think it's true. Like how many times it is just clearly stated to know what God's will is for every person is over and over in the New Testament.
Oh, that we would just know.
Well, no, it's like clear. Forgive your enemies. Be kind. Be gentle. Be honest. Like there's so many just clear directives that you know how you're supposed to live your life. I don't know why everybody just doesn't start there. You know, like just pick one of those. Get really good at it. The world would be different.
Yeah, literally. If every person
would be different.
That's a great point.
Instead, a lot of times God's will it had to be something exciting or amazing or an incredible story, because that was just a lot of the at least in the circles we were in, that was if you were really doing something important in God's will, that was very cool.
Now, before we wrap up, I will say on Facebook, Faith, you had literally commented on this post, and the most famous Christian buzzword, which like completely I didn't even register when I was putting this together, which was WWJD. Which most people know is what would Jessica do, and she would design a Gruber shirt. But that one's was used and like all the time growing up, and like people
had WWJD. Yeah. Oh, we had bracelets.
I was gonna say we had bracelets. Like there were bumper stickers, and yes, feel free to use "It's God's will for my life" because I will still use that when when my fiance comes back and I'm like, hey, Gruber's brother at the shelter still doesn't have a home. I think it's God's will that we bring him to our home.
Well, you know what the crystal clear will is. You can believe in me or
go to hell,
have eternal punishment. So that's a pretty tough sitch. But here's one more.
Oh, I love
this because I'll keep that in my prayers.
Oh, that is the Christian equivalent of like the Southern bless your heart.
Well, the translation is, I have no intentions of praying for you. In fact, I've already forgotten what it is you were going on about. Why are you still talking? Which is nice.
That's my favorite one.
Which is obviously many people, myself included, when I was Christian, did pray for people when I said I'd keep you in my prayers.
That's really funny.
But sometimes I think that was the other one too.
Oh, I thought maybe I'll pray for you is the one that's like, bless your heart. I'll pray for you. That's really funny.
We were just kind of poking fun and all that. Again, I know people that believe all of this and would not even argue with them. It's a faith. Like if you believe this is your faith and you believe in it, awesome. I just believe different, and I think we could all still be friends and everything.
I do too. I have friends,
but somehow, I do have friends that are Christians.
Me too. Yeah.
Sometimes it gets tough because it's like I just see them as someone who has a faith. Like everybody has faith, different faiths, Mormons, Buddhism. Think of some more. Which is cool because people just want something to believe in, and there's all kinds of good reasons for that. I do too. But somehow once you're not a Christian, it's like you're not just someone with a different point of view. You're the lost or you're damned.
Or you're like a project. Not all. And I will say, I just completely forgot what I was going. Yeah, and I don't always know. I don't like any buzzwords, like if they're culture, like I'm just not a buzzword person. I just thought it would be particularly fun. So it's not.
We have them in our industry too.
Yes, I hate buzzwords, and so I thought it'd be really fun because this is a deconstruction live stream to just see if we remembered those buzzwords that we were like entrenched in for years. But this was a very fun one. Thank you, Faith and P and Heather being in the chat. That was so fun. We always get a little bit wound up when there's people in the chat.
She does.
I get wound up. So thank you so much for hanging out with us.
And I think next week, we may be meeting at 4 or 5 for or 5, but it'll be 10. Depend on what you're doing.
It'll depend on me. Yeah.
If you're out of town.
Yeah. Gruber's got a neurologist appointment tomorrow, so we'll end this with saying, keep him in your prayers.
Bye.